Hey everybody, Sean here, and I hope you're doing well. Yes, you read that title correctly, so let's jump right in. And special thanks to Mark Scott for sharing this. People like Kat Kerr and Bobby Connor are two of the biggest storytellers around today. And for most of us, we don't need to see any more from them to know without a shadow of a doubt that they are the false teachers we've been warned of in the Bible. But unfortunately, there are people that still follow them, and that's why we continue to make videos exposing them, just hoping God will open their eyes to the lies.
So I want to talk to you about one of those activities of God. It concerns a miracle I saw happen that stunned me. It stuns me even now talking about it. My wife and I were off in a ministry at a church down in Texas, and we were doing ministry, and all of a sudden I scream out, "God's power is here to heal." And I really meant it with all my heart. And so some people were coming forward, and then I caught a glimpse of something out of my eye, and I looked down like this. Oh my goodness. Oh, what I saw did not even look like a human being. I don't know if I can describe it where you can get a mental concept of it.
But he's gonna describe a boy that looked more like an alien, and this is crazy.
It looked like somebody had, it looked like what people draw like an alien. Listen, this didn't even look like a human being. It's a little boy, has no forehead, it just slits back like this. His eyes were not in sockets, they were hanging down on his face like this.
What a load of malarkey. Sure, the picture below is part of a Halloween costume, but he's saying some boy showed up at a service with both eyes hanging out like that. Even the directors of that show should have stopped filming and said, "This has gone too far, get out."
And he was real short, his hands drug the ground like this, and just pitiful. His facial features would look just like an alien, big head up here, down to a little, and so I am stunned. And I said to the little boy there, I said, "Do you believe God can heal you?" And oh man, I'll never forget it. He rolled those eyes up, rolled them up like this, and looked at me and said, "I'm down here, ain't I?"
I mean, this is terrible. He had the strength to actually roll those hanging eyes up and look at Bobby. And yet, look at all the positive comments below that actually believe this story. That's how lost the church is today.
And the Lord said, "Bobby, you'll never get a better reply than that in your whole life. I'm down here, ain't I?" And I took my hand, this hand right here, and I put it on his head. His head was very deformed. Put my hand on his head, and the little kid falls out on the floor there. Remember now, his arms drag the ground. He's just a little dwarf. His facial features are all distorted. Eyeballs hanging out like a iguana lizard.
He's gonna heal the little alien iguana lizard boy. Get ready.
And there he is, and I'm watching him, and his head starts growing out like this. It starts taking shape, and it grew to such a dimension, it created eye sockets, and his eyes pop into the sockets. And there he is, and then his head quit moving, and he's awake. I get him up, and he said, "I feel real good." That's what he said, "I feel real good." I was breathtaking. I was stunned. And anyway, I said to the Lord, "Lord, why didn't you continue growing out his head?" He said, "I'm waiting for his brain to take its shape to fit the cranium." But anyway, maybe 2 months after that event there, my wife and I are back in the same church, and here comes what looked like a teenager, big enough to play football, and he runs and grabs me, and he's just swinging on me like this, and he said, "You remember me?" And I looked at him, I said, "Yes, I do." And he had grown to be normal. All of the deformity was gone, and he's perfect, absolutely perfect young man. That's what I'm telling you, God can do anything.
Yes, God can do amazing things through us, but there's a time to believe in faith and a time to ask for proof. And this is definitely one of those times. If you do follow Bobby Connor, then you must ask him to prove these outrageous stories. Because if you don't, then I'm sure you'll believe any story. Scripture's warned us repeatedly about these false teachers and storytellers, and if you don't take heed to God's warnings, then the results may be devastating. Read your Bibles, my friends, and know God's truth so that you too can spot the imposters. We're going to leave it here for today, but as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and until next time, take care and God bless.